Good morning and happy Friday, May the 29th. Yes, that is right. This is the last week in May, and we're heading into a wonderful, beautiful summer season. June is just right around the corner. For everyone that woke up in the Toronto GTA area, yes, it was still a little chilly, but I promise the weather's going to start to heat up, and we're going to start that with today's YouTube Live. This one I'm really, really excited with and about. What if the biggest breakthroughs in your real estate business came from avoiding mistakes that almost held you back? In this session, I'm going to share the 3 costly mistakes I made while building a high producing real estate business and team. The lessons I learned so you can shorten your learning curve and avoid expensive setbacks and accelerate your path to success. Because the thing that I absolutely do not want happening is this is that right now in 2026, I find most agents are just 1 or 2 mistakes from having either a breakthrough year or, unfortunately, bankruptcy. And the latter is what we're going to try to avoid in today's sharing session of the 3 mistakes I learned early on in my real estate career. Welcome back to another episode of No Agent Left Behind Masterclass. I am your host, Stephen Kim, team lead of the Stephen Kim Group, kick-ass team in Toronto GTA, and your friendly coach and friend. Let's just say that. No Agent Left Behind, this community is built around sharing and learning and growing and making mistakes so that you don't have to make the same mistakes. And most importantly, this is all about real results and tactical mastery. So today I'm going to share the 3 costly mistakes I made very early on in my career that I'm hoping that you don't make. All right, so let's get right into it. Today's topic, the 3 things I wish I knew before starting my real estate career so you don't have to learn it the hard way. And so hopefully by me sharing these 3 things, it's going to accelerate your growth. And this year, it's going to help for you to pivot that the last remaining 5, 6, 7 months is going to be absolutely outstanding. Nobody tells you this stuff, but 87% of agents actually quit within the first 5 years. And I'm not going to say just quit, but fail within the first 5 years. And that's not a number that, we boast and we kind of flex on. More importantly, I just want to know why. Why is it that we have such a high failure rate, right? We always talk about we want to help our buyers, we want to help our sellers, and ultimately that's the goal as a real estate agents. But we want to be able to build a community that we can lean on. So by me sharing the mistakes that I made, I'm hoping that that failure rate starts to climb downwards because I love this community, I love this profession, and I love giving back. The number one reasons why agents actually fail is business illiteracy. And that is so, so important because unfortunately, they don't teach you this. They actually do not teach you while you're getting your real estate license how to run a business, right? How to read a P&L statement, how to make sure that you're running within a good margin of profitability. More importantly, being able to track and measure your tasks, the things that you're executing on a daily, monthly, yearly fashion, and being able to accelerate growth and being able to measure growth. And finally, the 3 mistakes that cost most agents everything. I made all 3 of these. I made them tons and I made them for many years. And today I'm going to give you the shortcut. The 3 things is really this. These are the 3 biggest mistakes, right? The things that I failed to do early on in my career. Number 1, tracking and measuring everything in business. Tracking and measuring everything in business. The numbers that tell the truth about your business. And that's important because how many of you real estate agents watching and listening right now wake up the first day of every single year, scratching your head, hoping and praying that you're going to have a better year this year? What if in next year, January 1st, 2027, you wake up with ultimate predictability in your business? That's the goal, predictability in your business. Number 2, profitability and understanding understanding tax. If you have a great accountant, amazing. Make sure that your accountant is not just a paper pusher, but is someone that's helping you set up your tax advantages, your tax growth, and your tax planning for years to come. And profitability, that is so, so important. And I learned this even the hard way when building a team. Number 3 is not having enough conversations. And you know that is not a surprise to most people. Most of you, if not all of you, are not having enough real estate conversations daily. This is the only metric that actually predicts income. Not tracking or measuring anything. You can't improve what you don't measure. I'll say that again. It's so important. You can't improve what you don't measure. If you take a look at people that are on a gym journey or a fitness journey, I read in an article, there is such a disparity between those people that go to the gym January 1st of every single year, right? and their level of commitment the first 30, 60, and 90 days compared to those that actually hire a trainer, it's something like 12x times the commitment. So people that hire a trainer, they're more likely to stick with their fitness regimen 12 times more than just that solo fitnesspreneur is what I'm going to call them. You can't improve what you don't measure. So what I did versus what I should have done. What I did early on in my career is I ran on a gut feeling, no data at all. Had no idea how many leads I needed to close a deal. I'll repeat that one again. If you're watching, if you're listening, please write this one down. Have this embedded into your brain. You had no idea how many leads you needed to close a single deal. And that's where the entire framework around predictability kicks in. Is you need to know how many leads you have to have in your funnel to close one single deal. It's about working backwards. Number 3, couldn't tell which lead source was working, and that is important. If you're not tracking and measuring where your leads are coming from, how do you know what's working? Me as a Tom Ferry coach, one of the first questions I ask my clients when they say, give me an update on new business that came in this past week is identifying where did this new business come from based on the lead source. Number 4, I worked harder, not smarter. 0 ROI tracking, right? I see a brick wall. I'm just going to pound through that brick wall. Where there's other ways of getting around that brick wall versus just sheer brute strength. The last one, woke up every Monday not knowing what to do. There might be some of you watching, listening right now that you're like, Steve, that's not every Monday. That's every single day waking up not knowing what to do. Here's what I should have done. Track every lead source weekly, not daily in the beginning because you're not going to commit to that. But what about weekly? Just sitting down on a Sunday, 15, 20, 30 minutes and tracking every lead that you spoke to, touched this past week and identifying the lead sources that it came from, right? So out of this week, 17 leads came through. Well, you know what? 12 of them came from an open house. Hey, guess what? You might be pretty proficient at doing an open house. What would I tell you as a coach? Do more open houses. Number 2, know your conversion rate. Leads, appointments, closes. Remember that. Leads, appointments, closes. Those are the only metrics you should care about early on in your career. You need a lot of leads. You need a lot of appointments to get closes. This one's important. Measure cost per lead and cost per close. Those are 2 different items. Cost per lead and cost per close. Because I may spend early on in my career, let's say I spent $400 a month, doing an online lead gen, whatever the case may be, and I ended up getting 80 leads, quote unquote leads. Well, in terms of closing them, what about the time that it took to put up the for sale sign, all of the flyers, maybe are paying for photos and videos and floor plans and everything? That's the cost per close. Those are 2 different numbers that you have to pay attention to, especially because you're running a business. Block time for income producing activities only. I can't say that enough. You got to block time. So we call that the HABU time, HABU. That's the highest and best use of your time, which is income producing activities. There's $1,000 an hour work and there's $10 an hour work. You should be spending your time on $1,000 an hour work. Here's a little hint. That $1,000 an hour work is you simply going on appointments. Everything else should be offloaded to someone else, or dedicate time once a week to do that work. Review numbers every Monday, 15 minutes max. So this is the tracking and measuring. You notice I didn't say daily. Let's just start weekly, because weekly has a higher level of commitment of you staying committed than doing it daily. You and I both know that. The 4 numbers every agent must track weekly, and these are the things that I learned with Tom Ferry. Number 1 is conversations. New conversations started with potential buyers or sellers this week, right? So new conversations is important, because if you're not having new conversations weekly, your business is not growing. You need to increase your funnel, the size of your funnel, with attracting new conversations. And you may say, Steve, I don't know where to go for new conversations. Well, I'm happy that you asked me. Here's a couple of things that you can do right now. Yes, they're not sexy, but they are proven and they work. You could go door knock, right? This gets you in front of a higher number of potential sellers than anything else. And guess what? Costs you free, costs you no money. The next one are open houses, right? Open houses are such a gold mine. If you think about it, we work so hard following up and chasing leads, trying to figure out what their price points are, what the type of home they're looking for, and the neighborhood they're interested in. If a guest comes into your open house, they are simply telling you this price point works for me, this neighborhood works for me, and this product, housing style works for me. Do a lot of open houses, please. That is really, really important. What about going to your local coffee shop and just sitting there for 1 or 2 hours and having a couple of conversations with the people next to you, right? There are so many ways of having new conversations. The opportunities are endless. If you're someone that is really, really good at having new conversations, do me a favor, drop it in the chat. Let's share with the community. What are some of the ways you are going about having new conversations, right? I know a couple of the agents on our team, Andrew and Angie and Jenny, they are masters at having new conversations through DMs on Instagram and their social platforms. They're absolutely crushing it. I think Angie has like new conversations, new appointments from DMs on Instagram once a week minimum. Andrew says open houses. By the way, if you have a chance to shadow Andrew, he is a open house assassin. This guy's got the chops. So if you don't follow Andrew Mercado, go find him on socials and ask to shadow him because he really knocks it out of the park. In a short period of time, I think it's like 4, 5, 6 deals, correct me if I'm wrong, in about a calendar year that he's closed, both buyers and sellers from open house cold leads. So he's got the chops on that. Okay, number 2, contacts. Total people reached out to, calls, texts, DMs, emails combined. And I'm going to tell you this. It is not a conversation if they don't respond to you. And I know some of my coaching clients are watching right now and you're laughing and you're giggling because it is not a conversation if you send someone a text and they don't respond. That does not count as a conversation. It does count as a contact though. So total number of people that you reach out to. Jenny says open house. Absolutely. Absolutely. You crush those as well. And just a quick shout out to Jenny is because Jenny knows the product, the neighborhood, and the stats. So don't just sit there at an open house and do nothing. You got to know stats. So the new homes on the market, the ones that have expired, the ones that have gone under contract, and motivations. And the best way to do that, speak to the listing agents to see what is going on. Okay, number 3 here is appointments. You got to be able to track your appointments. How many qualified people agreed to meet with you face-to-face? And this is really, really, really important. Because if you're not booking appointments daily, let's say even weekly, your business will die. I'll say it again. If you're not booking appointments daily, even weekly, your business will die. But you have to ask yourself this question though. Why you? I want you to ask yourself today, this Friday morning, why you if a buyer has raised their hand? Why you if a seller has raised their hand? Why should they choose you? This is all about you being able to identify your value proposition, your value statement. And you may scratch your head and be like, well, Steve, I don't know what that is. Claude it out, ChatGPT it out, Gemini it out. We have so many tools right now at disposal in our arsenal to be able to help us pull out those value statements. And the last one is closings. Deals closed this month. Track versus your monthly income target. That is important. You should not be going a month without a closing. I'll say that. I'll put that out there. I don't care about the Trev statistics of like 56% of agents last year didn't do a single deal. Something like 85% of agents only did 1 to 4 deals. I don't care about that. This community, my target for you is 1 deal minimum per month. I'll say it again, 1 deal minimum per month. That's what I need for you to track. Not understanding profitability and tax. This was a big one for me. Huge, huge, huge. I knew tracking and measuring was important because I played a lot of sports growing up. I had a lot of coaches tracking and measuring, writing in a little notebook, workouts, calories, all that fun stuff. But this was a big one, right? Because I didn't come from a business background. Understanding profitability and tax is huge. The first person that you should be reaching out to when you start your real estate career is your accountant and your financial planner. And if you don't have one, go find one. Go to the bank that you bank with right now, and they're going to link you with both of those. And financial planners not going to cost you anything. They take a small percentage of the profits that you make year over year. But an accountant, absolutely worth their weight in gold. Those are the 2 people you absolutely need to get in front of because you are a business owner. Yes, you're a real estate agent by title, but you are a business owner at the core. Earning every commission and keeping money are 2 different things. Earning a commission and keeping money are 2 different things. Oh, I'll say it again. Earning a commission and keeping money are 2 different things. I'm going to break this down for you. Your gross commission. So let's say $10,000 commission check, right? So on a $400,000 condo, 2.5% commission, you make $10,000. Don't you dare touch that HST. That is not your spending money. That you put in a separate tax account. And yeah, well, if you have to split it up because your brokerage gives you one lump sum, guess what? Split it up, because that 13% you do not touch. That is in a separate tax savings account. So I just broke down some numbers here. A brokerage split might look like 30%. So 3,000 goes to the brokerage. Employment and income tax might look like another 37, 38%. So there's the number there. Business expenses look around $800. What you keep, it's $3,600. So you'll see this percentage here, 36% of your gross commission. I'm going to say this. There are buckets, and I train and I coach to this with my Tom Ferry coaching clients. There are 3 buckets in real estate in terms of your revenue. Number 1 is income tax. You got to save for your tax, because CRA is relentless. They will not let up. If you owe them money, they will not let up, right? So 33% goes into taxes. So that 13% added to your commission checks, don't even think about it. That automatically goes into tax savings. Your gross commission, that $10,000, 33% goes into the tax savings account. Your other bucket of 33% goes into operational and business expenses, right? So 33% into taxes, 33% into operational business expenses, and 33% goes into living and savings. Yeah. And you say, what, Steve? Are you crazy? 33% on living and savings early in your career? You better get this right, because a lot of you know you are living well above your means. I'll repeat, many are living well above your means. Start making those adjustments. And if you're not going to make those adjustments, guess what? You need to get your ass in gear and make more money. It's as simple as that. You're either going to make more money or you're going to save money. So here's a simple breakdown. The 3 buckets, 33%, 33%, 33%. Taxes, operating and business expenses, and living expenses. Moving to Vaughn, thank you so much for the 4 fire emojis. Okay, how to run your real estate business like a business. Set this up immediately. Number 1, open a separate business bank account. Day 1, you must need to do that. You have to do that. Set aside 30 to 35% of every commission for tax. I use a general rule of 33%. Pay quarterly estimated taxes to avoid the penalty trap. In Canada, we don't have to do that. Sometimes we have to do a prepayment, right? If you make a lot of money, then next year the CRA is going to be like, you got to make prepayment installments just to make sure that they get paid. Track every deductible expense. And that's why an accountant is important. They're going to help you to identify what is deductible and what is not deductible. Hire an accountant who works with real estate agents specifically. If you're looking for a great accountant, I'd be more than happy to share mine after this episode. Just DM me on the video itself. Key numbers to know. Number 1, 30 to 35% save for taxes on every check. Your monthly fixed business overhead is X amount of dollars. You need to hit your net income goals, X number of deals, and your break-even gross is X. So I'll just share this right now. So I run a pretty substantial business, amazing Stephen Kim Group. On average, my break-even is this. And what that I mean by that is starting January 1st every single year. In 2026, this year, I need to clear $227,000 just to be operational. And what does that mean? I need to get to $227,000 in my business before I start making a penny. So I actually start in the red every single year, but I know the number. So this year I need to clear 227 before I start making a penny. The moment I make 228, great. I now have $1,000 of income, but I know the rules of 33, 33, 33. This is the biggest mistake I'm going to say, is you just not having enough conversations. This is not brand new news, but this is the real nooks and cranny of real estate. You're in sales. And you're not having enough conversations. And if you're not having enough conversations, you're not earning the income that you want to be earning. And I'm pretty sure I'm talking to most of you right now, right? Every deal you've ever closed started with a conversation. I'll say that again. Every deal you've ever closed started with a conversation. What I'm trying to get you to avoid is you sitting and staring at your phone, hoping and praying and wishing someone calls you. You know what? You take charge of your business. Here's the conversation math that changes everything. Conversations per month, 50. The leads you've identified are 20. The appointments you booked are 8. The presentations, appointments you've gone on are 5, and you've closed 2 deals. So every single month, if I say I wake up 2027 and I want to do 24 deals for the year of 2027, here's the metric. Because I started to track how many conversations I had per month, how many leads I identified, right? Whether they're hot, warm, or cold, I actually booked 8 appointments. That's a pretty good metric from 50 conversations. I had 5 appointments from 8 appointments. And from the 5 appointments, I got 2 closings. What does that tell me? That tells me 50 times 12, which is 600, is the target number. I need 600 conversations for 2027 to get to 24 deals all the way here on the bottom. That simply means that I need about 1.5 conversations per day. Let's be real. I'm asking for you to have 1.5 conversations per day to get 24 deals done next year. If I take the average of $10,000 per deal, that is of $250,000 at your disposal right now. And all it takes is for you to have 1.5 conversations per day. Do it. Because yes, it is that easy. You just got to do the work and know your value prop. Drop in the chat right now, right? And this is going to require some of you being raw and authentic and fully transparent. How many conversations on average are you having per day? And I'm not saying per week, but per day. I'm curious to know what that number looks like. I'll share my number with you. I'm having anywhere from 4 to 7 conversations per day, Monday through Friday. I do not have conversations on the weekend because that is fam jam time. 4 to 7 conversations per day, Monday through Friday. That is my metric. Now, where to find more conversations? Because you're scratching your head. Be like, yeah, okay, Steve, it's so easy for you. 1.5 conversations, but where do I go? Number one, your phone. Look at your phone. Open up your phone right now. If you're driving, don't do this. But if you're watching right now, open up your phone, go to the contact folder, go all the way to the bottom and find out how many contacts you have right now in your phone. Remember the previous slide? 50 conversations? That's 600 conversations per month. If you open up your phone right now, I promise most of you have 2,000 to 3,000 people in your phone, which means it just requires for you to have one conversation with 1 out of 4 people in your phone right now. So you know where to go. What about this? Open houses like Andrew and Jenny and Angie and Sedge. They kill the open houses on the team. Do 1 open house per week. Just 1. Commit 2 hours, a Saturday or a Sunday. But hey, go crazy. Do 2 open houses per week, right? We know that a buyer coming into an open house is already telling us that this is the price they're comfortable with. This is the neighborhood I'm looking at, and this is the type of home I'm curious about. Do 1 open house per week. Try to have 10 minimum conversations. Stop treating this as a time waster. These are conversation machines. So we did an open house this past weekend, 111 Madawaska. Monday morning with the team, I said, you know what I'm going to do? I, Stephen Kim, am going to book a buyer consultation in the weekend, a brand new one from a cold lead, and I'm going to pick up a new buyer. Guess what happened? Saturday, Rebecca and Michael, I know you're not watching, so I'm going to use your names, comes into the open house, convert them, appointment Sunday night at 8, sign ERA Monday morning, already showing them properties. Why? Because you got to be able to uncover pain point and motivation. If you can do that, you're going to convert at a higher level. Angie's huge on this. Jenny's huge on this. Social content machines. 1 video per day sharing value propositions, you as the local expert. If you haven't done so already, go take a look at Angie and Jenny's Instagram pages. They do a masterful job at really showing you what's happening in the market, not just statistically speaking, but I'm talking boots on the ground experience. Sam says 2 to 3 combos every day. Sam, I love you, love you, love you, love you. I love that. Great metric. Sorry, Java's Billy. Any open house? Open Home Pro. I love it. It's an old, antiquated app, but it still works because it links right up into the CRM. Open Home Pro. There's a free version and a paid version. Do the paid version. It's a small expense, but it is much easier with that. And you can sign on an iPad. I love that one. So 1 social content per day, 1 video per day. Let's just start here. 1 video per week. Andrew Mercado, I'm talking to you. Yes, you're listening. Yes, I'm calling you out. 1 video per week. DMs and comments, conversations out of convert. What about this? Past clients. The most underutilized source in real estate, still to this day, 50 to 60% of my entire business, and I've been in business 16 and a half years, 50 to 60% of my entire business still comes from past clients in my sphere. These are the people that know, like, and trust me. They are the easiest ones to convert. I don't have to convince them of anything because they trust me. Start there first. It is the most underutilized source in real estate. So do me a favor. All the money you're spending right now on your online lead gen systems, that's filling up your database. And you and I both know you're never going to reach out to them. Stop paying today, May 29th. Call every lead gen platform and cancel today. Instead, go lean in with your past clients, check in with them, see how they're doing. This is the check-in call with the database, right? The opening. Hey, it's Steve with Real Brokers, just thinking about you. Hey, how's everything going? Do you have any summer plans? Then just listen. The goal is to connect, not to convert. The goal is to connect, not to convert. What about the bridge? Natural transition after 2 to 3 minutes. Go something like this. I wanted to reach out because the market in Toronto has been really active lately, especially C1 district for condos, especially the one-bedroom condos. Hey, I'm not sure if you're looking to buy or sell, or even if it's on your radar, but do you know anyone who's been thinking about it? What about the non-pushy close? This is the ask, and let's not be afraid to ask. You're in real estate. You're in sales. Can we stop this? Oh, I don't want to come across as too salesy. It's a BS objection that you hide behind to avoid conversations. It is a BS objection that you use to hide behind to avoid conversations. Yes, I'm calling you out. The ask is simple, non-pushy close. I'm always looking to help people in the community or in my community. Hey, if anyone comes to mind, I'd love at least the introduction. And if you actually ever need anything, I'm just a phone call away. That's it. Or even a market update. I'm here for you, right? That's easy, non-pushy. This is a big one. The open house starter. The open house starter. This is amazing. Hey, welcome as they walk in, warm and direct. And if you would like to shadow us on our open houses and see how we convert at a high level, please do so. Message DM on this video once it's uploaded onto YouTube, right? Hey, welcome. I'm Steve. Hey, just curious, are you exploring the neighborhood or are you actively looking to buy? Either way, totally fine. Just so I can point you in the right direction, or just so I can point you to the right things while you're here. What about the qualify? After they've looked around for a few minutes, hey, what do you think? Does it feel like the right size for you? What's the one thing this place is missing for it to be your perfect home? Then listen. Can I just reiterate that one question again? Because they're going to highlight to you whether it's a go or it's a no. What's the one thing this place is missing for it to be your perfect home? It might be price point. It might be the yard. It might be the layout. And don't just leave it like that. The conversion is this. Hey, I actually know of a couple of other homes in the area. Would you be available Sunday at this time, Monday at this time, just so I could show you a quick private tour? Yeah, because you got to book the appointment. If you leave it open-ended, then what are you going to do? You're never going to convert. If they're telling you what it's missing, because this is the pain point and motivation, then capitalize on that to then book the appointment. What about the close as they're leaving? Hey, I actually have 2 properties coming up in this area that aren't listed yet or that I know of. Can I grab your number and send you the details when they hit? Awesome. What about this? Even the biggest names in real estate made these same mistakes early on. The early mistake is this. Early in their career, many top producers admit they ran on a gut feeling. No tracking, no pipeline, no numbers. They had busy weeks with no idea if the activity was actually producing income. Some went months without a closing and couldn't explain why. Yes, this is everyone in real estate. There is not a single agent I have ever spoken to, and I've spoken to tens of thousands of agents, and they've all been here before. This is the lesson they share. If I could actually go back, I would have tracked and measured everything from week 1: conversations, contacts, appointments, and closing. The agents who build lasting businesses are the ones who treat it like a business from the very start, not when they feel ready, but from day one. And unfortunately, it's because there is a high level or lack of accountability in our industry. Sure, there's a ton of brokerages and a ton of teams that offer great training. I love it. But accountability is one-on-one. You holding yourself or someone holding you to a higher standard. The GOAT, Tom Brady, was interviewed about, how he's become the GOAT in his profession in football. And he simply said this. He's like, it's because I had coaches and mentors that pushed me outside of my comfort zone. Most people want to stay within their comfort zone because it's comfortable. The moment they step outside of their comfort zone, it's kind of like, whoa, I don't like this. This isn't a good feeling. I don't know what this is about. You need a lot of that in your career, which is why still to this day, I have a coach every Wednesday morning. Because it's when the feeling is like, oh, wow, this is weird. This is uncomfortable. That's when growth kicks in. If you every single day you're comfortable, right? you're never going to grow. And I don't mean, well, Steve, I'm not making a lot of money, and that's not that it's uncomfortable. I'm not talking about that. I'm talking about feeling uncomfortable in your business because you're doing something new and then being held accountable to that. And you can't go 2 weeks, once a month, once a quarter in accountability. It never works. It should be a minimum of one accountability session per week. Agents on my team, we operate off of 2 to 3 accountability sessions per week. That is the standard. We do not deviate from that. The common thread in every failure story is simple. Number one, no system. They worked hard. They had no process. Every week started from scratch. No tracking, no pipeline, no predictability. I'll say again, no tracking, no pipeline, no predictability. No financial IQ. And this is a big one. This is how most agents go bankrupt. They get a $10,000 commission check and they go spend $10,000. You'll go broke doing that. They earned money they didn't understand it. Taxes, expenses, and margins were a mystery until a painful wake-up call from Mrs. and Mr. CRA. Not enough reps. They avoided the discomfort of prospecting. Too much prep, not enough action. I'll say again, too much prep, not enough action. Speed is momentum in this business. Do things quickly, not perfectly. You're going to make mistakes until you stop making as many mistakes. Speed wins in this business. And this is a big one. No mentorship whatsoever. They tried to figure it out alone because they didn't want to give enough of a split. Or this is my hard-earned money. I'll tell you this, 50% of something is better than 100% of one or nothing. 50% of something is better than 100% of one deal or 100% of nothing. Look for a team, look for a community, look for a brokerage that offers a high level of accountability. If I could start over, here's my day one checklist, and I love this one. Please pay attention to this one. Number one, week one, set up a business account, personal and business, and speak to a CPA. Also in week one, build a tracking spreadsheet, conversations, appointments, pipeline, and closes. Get a CRM is what I'm going to tell you to do. And if you can't afford a CRM, Google Sheet it out. But conversations, appointments, pipeline, closes, appointments, and closes. Those are the 4 metrics every single week you should be following. Week 2, call every single people you know, no pitch, just tell them, hey, new into real estate, something cool happened in real estate. I'd like to be your real estate go-to if that's cool, right? Week 2, also, I am going to say in week 1, not week 2, find a CPA who specializes in real estate, book a meeting. For those people that have been in real estate for quite some time and have a great accountant, I'm going to say level up and get a bookkeeper, right? Not Intuit QuickBooks and you're doing it yourself, because your bookkeeper should do that. That gives you back time for you to go book appointments and make more money. In month 1, set a daily non-negotiable. It is 5 conversations per day, every day, no exceptions. And there is no break on the weekend if you're not hitting your income goal. If you're hitting your income goal, fine, Monday through Friday. If you're not hitting your income goal, every single day until you start hitting your income goal, right? You got to be relentlessly committed and disciplined on hitting this. Month 1, also review your weekly numbers every Monday. Adjust what's not working immediately. And you're only going to be able to identify this if you're reviewing your numbers every Monday. Also in month 2 is find a mentor or coach, invest in one framework, and work hard over the next 90 days. That is important. Quick rapid fire recap. The 3 mistakes are this: not tracking and measuring. Set up your 5 weekly metrics this week, ignoring profitability and tax. Open up a business account and set up those 3 buckets: 33%, 33%, 33%. And the last one, and this is the most one, and this is the killer for most people, is not having enough conversations. Commit to 5 conversations per day starting today, not tomorrow, today. Hey, the agent who gets all 3 right, this is what starts to happen. Track their numbers weekly and adjust fast. They know exactly where their next deal is coming from. They know their real take home on every deal. Set aside tax from day 1 and operational expenses. Never get blindsided. Never get blindsided. Have 5+ conversations every single day without fail. Prospecting is a habit, not a chore. Treat it like a habit, not a chore. The reason I treat it like a habit, not a chore, is this: I love solving people's problems. If I'm not talking to people, my bucket is empty because I'm not able to identify and come up with solutions to their problems. I'm a real estate agent by title, but I am a problem solver through and through. And I love solving problems, which is why I love coaching agents as well. The 4th one, treat their business like a CEO. Systems, metrics, and discipline, not just a hustle. Systems, metrics, and discipline. And this one, We're all going to do this. We're going to outlast the 87% of agents because they built a business, not just a lucky streak. But our goal is this. Our goal is this as a community. We're going to take that 87%, and by next year, we're going to bring it down to 70%. Because agents are going to watch this and they're going to understand these mistakes and they're going to start to make those adjustments now. Learn it now, not the hard way. I'll say it again. Learn it now, not the hard way. Do me a favor if you haven't already. Subscribe to this channel. If you found any value whatsoever, would love a like, a thumbs up, a comment once this video is posted. And do me a favor, next Friday, do you mind just sharing this with one colleague, invite one colleague? Because once we get them into the community, now you're able to find a great accountability partner based on our training. Do me this favor as well. DM your biggest takeaway. I reply to every single one, and it would mean the world to me. Thank you, everyone, for sharing your time with me again on a Friday live on this beautiful May 29th. Please join me next Friday at 10 a.m. again live, where I break down some other great business income making activities. Hope everyone has a great weekend. If you're down by Ashbridges Bay on Saturday, come say hello. I'll be down there for a beach volleyball tournament. You all know the drill. Be great, be kind, everyone. Peace.